So without further ado, chapter member, compatriot, good friend for a lot of us, our new state president, David Temple.
Yeah, my family's famous for not liking some of my ideas. I'll give part of what I spoke to in Austin, but having changed some things and added some things to it, and then talk about a few things going on at the state and national level as well. And one of the focus for this year will be membership, for its membership in our chapters that touch the lives around the state. Our members present the medals, certificates, recognize the outstanding students, citizens, first responders, which was done here last month, fill the color guards and participate in public events, parades, and ceremonies in our communities. Our Texas Society annual report for last year reflects a lot of work was accomplished. With more members, we can do even more. To keep it simple with membership, I just thought, let's keep the 3 R's: recruitment, retention, reinstatement. Recruit new members. We have to continue to recruit membership, and we've been pretty good at the state level when we added just over 300 members this last year, but we can do better. The National Society provided Texas Society with almost 800 leads last year, people that expressed interest in some fashion. And I stated I wasn't sure how we tracked those as far as making phone contact, assist with research, applications, and then finally membership. But we have a process working now. Sam Massey has taken on that hopefully we'll be able to track what's going on with these leads that get distributed. Let's continue to document the leads from the DAR members, as we have received hundreds. We submitted over 279 DAR finder forms last year, which basically that's how SAR documents that a DAR member provided a lead, help with the application, even if we use the application as part of our documentation. DAR finder forms are important. Retention is a little bit tougher, as Ralph knows from experience. We find 300 compatriots who failed to pay their dues this past year. We know many just plain forget. Others lose interest for whatever reason. Others become ill, and sadly a few will join Chapter Eternal each year. It's up to us to find ways to encourage members to get involved, to want to belong, give them a reason to keep their membership current, to show them we actually have fun in what we do. Mentoring program is another idea that was discussed at National that I know several chapters do use, where essentially you're assigning a member to a new member or a prospect, and it's your job to teach them about the SAR, how does it work, what do we do, what's involved, maintain contact, encourage them to come to your meetings, bring their family, or if they've got sons or grandsons, bring them. Think about when you joined, was it a great experience or could it have been better? And then if they're not paying dues, well then reinstatement becomes important. When they fail to pay their dues, they get dropped. We have to figure out a way to reinstate them. That's when the Ralph system kicks in and he contacts people to encourage them to pay their dues. We have others around the state that do not as much work as Ralph. One in particular is probably challenging to get pretty close, and that's Henry Garcia down at the San Antonio chapter. He is the new chairman of the membership committee for the state, and just has ideas for chasing members to collect dues. And then if we do that, then we can grow beyond what was 3,200 members when I put this together. After the official reconciliation with National and kind of the fight about who paid their dues and who didn't, I think we're a little over 2,950 that have actually paid. So we've got some work to get it back to just the 3,200. Then I discussed by asking how many people had children or grandchildren in college or on the way. Tuition cost approaching $30,000 or more. Private colleges often double that. Every family could use help with the cost. We have scholarships attached to our youth contest. At the state level, we just had 5 or 6 youth contests where the first prize winner receives a scholarship of $2,500. In many of the contests, it'll scale down to third and some in fifth place. And then we need to promote these contests, but donations by generous families to the Texas Society Patriot Fund have grown and enabled that fund to grow so that we could raise the first prize up to these $2,500. And if we continue to add funds to the Patriot Fund, we'll be able to go beyond that. Some people, the national contest winners get $10,000. So I think our winner last year received a scholarship for $10,000. Those that won the $2,500 will go on to national to compete for that. So it's certainly a dollar amount that's worthwhile. We need to promote it, publicize it, communicate it to the DAR and CAR chapters we visit. Students in public schools, private schools, and homeschooled should all be aware of what we offer. During the first Texas Society meeting I attended, then President Harry Fife, which Tom and a few others may remember, called for a show of hands of first-time attendees. And what he wanted to know was, what committee do you want to be on? And the idea was, it wasn't what he wanted. He wanted to hear what you were interested in. You go out and look at the committees. You find a place that you would have an interest in serving and then step up and serve. So we need to identify folks the places where we want to be involved and get involved. I would encourage members to be active in the chapter, Dallas, or another one if you have it, the Texas Society. We'd love to have more compatriots involved at the state level. We need backups, assistants to many of the officer positions to learn that position so that they can step in when called upon to do so. I think you would find it rewarding if you do it. Several that were mentioned earlier have been doing it for a while. Couple of things at state beyond the call for that are the state historian, John Anderson, who was just installed, is working on a project with others to gather information about Texas Society members to assist in identifying what are being called notable members. And it's really more of a learn more about your fellow members. Many are attorneys, judges, politicians, mayors, city councilmen, company executives, or involved in Boy Scouts or all that stuff. They just want to gather information for everybody that's willing to do it to get an idea of what our members are doing. And then you can save it and then check the database or whatever and find out how many are involved in this particular category. Education, college professors, whatever it might be. That's kind of a main thing at the state. At national, they've started working on a Patriot research system. This will be similar, I don't think it'll be quite as good as the GRS that the DAR has, where if you look at that, you can see online lineages for many of their patriots, and then it lists the various applications of members that have used that lineage or that patriot, and it'll run through different children. The SAR is behind in getting that. There's certainly a way to provide on a website. There's a way that can then connect to income generating possibilities of providing record copies to folks because they found some part of their family in that system. So that's a project that will need volunteers. It's already underway. Bill Mars will be the state contact for that and has issued a call for volunteers to assist him. Another item at national you probably saw is the membership directory. You got yellow cards, and if you're like me, you've gotten, I think, the 5th set in the last week or two. The National Society has prepared a directory about every 4 or 5 years for the last, I want to say, 15 or 20 years probably. And so this is just an update to what is about a 5-year-old directory. They've had responses so far from about 17,000 of the 32,000 some odd members at national. And there's not any obligation to purchase a copy. I'll tell you, it's a sales item as well as an info gathering item. It's an opportunity for national to generate some income. But there's nothing wrong with saying, no, I don't want a copy, no, I don't want to buy one, no, I don't need it, if you're also willing to update some information. Just kind of in closing on those items, let me make sure I'm not leaving one thing out. The website you'll find over time, they're reworking that. There's a new website was brought out several years ago. It had pieces to it, including the new application form. They're reworking some of that because of challenges that were raised over the last several years. Hopefully that will get done shortly. Just as we got used to the nice legal size application, there's been discussion promoting a smaller application form, just what we need, 8.5 by 11. I'm not sure how much traction that's got so far, but it seems to be moving. I think that's most of it. I'll leave that to Tom to bring that item up. So with that, I would just offer the challenges. Help someone join the SAR. Consider making donations to the Texas Patriot Fund to support our youth contests, and as part of your philanthropy during the year. And then volunteer your time. I'd just like to thank everyone for the honor and privilege of serving as your president this year. I look forward to a year of hard work. We touch more lives. I know we can have some fun along the way, presenting the medals and awards that we do, and we can accomplish great things. So I thank you for inviting me to speak. If anyone has any questions, I'd be glad to try to answer them. I can't answer everything, but I'd be glad to try to answer them. Jerry.
Now, as I recall, there was quite a discussion about state committees at the meeting, and a lot of pleas for help from the chapters on these state committees.
Correct.
And, frankly, to be honest, I don't even know what state committees do.
So that's a good question about how the state is run. A way to kind of find out is to just pick some off the schedule or look at the website and kind of see where you might have interest. At one time when I was doing the position you were doing, genealogy, I'll go attend and see what's going on there. I think the thought is the same people can't do it every year. The same people won't do it every year. We need members to step up and get involved in how the state is run. The committees oftentimes decide some actions that need to be taken, then those are brought to the BOM in a motion format often to change the way we're doing some things. You heard several of those at the meeting. Tracy will be correcting me a lot this year as I try to fumble my way through some of the things I'm supposed to be doing, but it's just another opportunity to volunteer and provide service to the society, learn about what's going on. Membership is one I talked about. There's probably a committee for just about everything. The Patriot Fund I talked about, there's a group of trustees that manage the investments for the Patriot Fund. We're fortunate that the Patriot Fund has garnered investments of probably in the 700,000 range, 600,000 range. So, obviously you want to try to get it to a level where just the earnings from it could support the awards we're trying to do in 5 or 6 contests and bring those awards up. We have another program where if you bought a national life membership, you pay dues to that pays dues to national. If you bought a state perpetual membership, that pays your dues to the state and up to $9.50 to the chapter. So there's a group that manages those investments to try to generate the best return on those. But there's one for state meetings, planning meetings. There's one for the district VPs. Gary Lovell, our district VP, will go to that meeting periodically to hear what other district VPs are finding in their district, what's going on. So it's just another opportunity to try to do something. It's a full schedule. You could fill the day with committee meetings and then sometimes go to one for half of it and then go to another one if they're opposite each other. That's a good question. Any others? Well, I'll do something since we want to do a catch-up. Reverend Pounders, would you come up here? Frank?
Whatever it is, I didn't do it.
Well, sure you did. And you've been doing it. I think you've been doing it for much of your career, too. So, at the state meeting, you were presented the Silver Roger Sherman Medal for your service to the Texas Society. There's a medal. Here's the certificate. Let's turn around and get Tom to take a picture.
Yeah.
This is the only thing you missed by not doing it. Oh, no.
Be sure to walk with me.
Tracy stepped up and tried to fill your shoes, but he did a good job. He was doing some double duty down there. Congratulations, thank you very much. Yep.
Mr. President, if you'll stay right here.
Okay.
Mark, would you join me? It's the tradition.
Well, it is.
We want it to continue. So, Mark?
David, first of all, congratulations on your induction, and we're very pleased that you're our new president this year.
Thank you.
We'd like to award you a certificate of appreciation.
Great. Thank you, sir.
Mr. President.
Uh-oh.
Every president gets one of these. And you need to have one.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I hope it goes well on your desk or somewhere in the decor
It
of
will.
your
I'll
house.
find somewhere for it. Don't worry. Tom would try to get me to put it on the hood of my car, probably.
Thank you, David.
Thank you very much.